Samuel L. Jackson opened the segment without humor or commentary. Instead, he walked onto the stage holding a worn newspaper clipping dated April 30th, 1989. He raised it for the audience to see, allowing the headline to come into focus before saying a word.
New right now at 10, Mobile police have made an arrest in a 29-year-old rape case. Investigators say Timothy Robinson raped a 3-year-old girl back in 1989.
Donald Trump is going to put on a filmy bodysuit. It's like, oh, I couldn't. So let's go in the dressing room. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to make him put those pants on. Walked in, and the minute I was in there, he shut the door and pushed me up against the wall and bang my head on the wall and kissed me. It was so.
NBC 15's Muriel Bailey joins us now. Muriel, this arrest stems from an old rape kit that was recently tested.
And that's right, Kim. It comes from the grant money MPD received to test old rape kits. And police tell me when these results came back, Robinson was already in jail serving time for a sex abuse case involving an 8-year-old.
I have no idea who this woman is. This is a woman who's also accused other men of things, as you know. It is a totally false accusation. I think she was married, as I read. I have no idea who she is, but she was married to a actually nice guy, Johnson, a newscaster. A photograph of it. Standing with my coat on in a line. Give me a break. With my back to the camera. I have no idea who she is.
What did you think of that MFer Donald Trump tweeting that you're a boring actor who does too many TV commercials?
Oh my God, did he tweet that?
Yeah, he did.
What was your reaction to that?
I look at my bank account, I laugh.
Donald Trump proving that even though he is running for president, there is no Twitter feud that is too small for him. So actor Samuel L. Jackson was asked in an interview, who's a better golfer, he or Trump?
The newspaper reproduced a full-page advertisement that Donald Trump had purchased in several New York newspapers following the highly publicized assault of a woman in Central Park. The advertisement called for the return of the death penalty during a period when the case dominated public attention. Jackson reminded viewers of the atmosphere in New York at the time. The attack had shocked the city, and emotions were running high. Police arrested 5 teenagers, 4 Black and 1 Latino, in connection with the crime, and public opinion formed rapidly as the investigation unfolded. He then posed a broader question. What are the consequences when public certainty develops before all of the evidence is known? Although Trump's advertisement did not identify the 5 teenagers by name, it appeared while their criminal cases were still pending and quickly became one of the most widely discussed public responses to the incident. More than a decade later, the case took a different direction. In 2002, convicted serial offender Matias Reyes confessed to the attack. Investigators said his confession included details that had not been publicly released, and DNA testing linked him to the crime scene. As a result, the convictions of the 5 men were vacated after they had already spent years in prison. Jackson quietly turned another page in the folder, allowing the moment to settle before continuing. His focus shifted from the public reaction in 1989 to what happened after the new evidence emerged. Court rulings changed, forensic evidence changed, and the legal status of the case changed with the exonerations. He noted that Trump did not publicly withdraw the position expressed in the original advertisement after the convictions were vacated. Rather than emphasizing the point with dramatic language, Jackson allowed the historical sequence itself to frame the discussion. He also reminded viewers that New York City later reached a civil settlement with the 5 men after their exonerations. The agreement acknowledged the legal resolution of the case, but could not restore the years they had spent in prison. Jackson then referred to Trump's subsequent public statements criticizing the settlement and continuing to question whether the compensation was warranted, despite the court's decision to vacate the convictions. Placing those later remarks alongside the 1989 advertisement, Jackson observed that many people remembered the original headlines but were less familiar with the later developments involving the confession, DNA evidence, and exonerations. He suggested that understanding the case requires considering both periods rather than only the initial investigation. He went on to discuss the broader principle that public leaders and institutions are sometimes required to reassess earlier positions when significant new evidence becomes available. In his view, the ability to respond to changing facts is an important aspect of accountability. The original newspaper advertisement remained unchanged, while the legal record evolved as additional evidence emerged and the convictions were overturned. Near the end of the segment, Jackson briefly shifted to a lighter anecdote, recalling Trump's past claim that the two had never played golf together. He recounted a story involving a golf shot that landed in a water hazard before a caddy later located the ball, drawing laughter from the audience. The lighter moment was brief. Jackson returned to the Central Park case, emphasizing that, unlike an amusing personal story, the case involved years of imprisonment that could not be recovered. He reflected on the lasting personal impact of wrongful convictions, including missed milestones and time that could not be restored. As the segment concluded, the newspaper clipping remained on the desk. Jackson looked toward the camera and closed with a broader reflection that history is shaped not only by the decisions people make, but also by how they respond when later evidence changes the understanding of those decisions.